One. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Wellness Week Live. I am your host, DJ Anthony. I got a special guest today that I'm pumped up about. It was hard to get her. She's a very busy woman. My friend, Ina, and, she is, among other things, a very dynamic, talented person. She specializes in energy healing and energy work, and I wanted to have her on today. Now, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Okay, let's get the numbers up. And always check with your healthcare professionals. We're not giving any healthcare or legal advice out. Always check with your healthcare professionals. We're just two friends talking. Okay. So, Ina, thank you for coming on Wellness Week. How are you?
Hello, thank you so much for having me. I'm very good and very excited to be here.
Oh, listen, thanks for making the time. You're like a celebrity, so it was hard. My people had to contact your people. It was a big thing. So, I wanted to talk to you about one of the things that caught my eye that you're doing is energy work, aka energy healing. And I just want to say, like, just out of the gate, okay? Uh, you know, in my opinion, obviously, folks, if you get your leg blown off in a car accident, you got to go to the hospital. You got to go see a doctor. You know what I mean? Or God forbid you have a serious illness, you got to see the doctor. I'm all for doctors. God bless our nurses and doctors. We're not. I'm not saying don't. What we're about to talk about is in addition to traditional healthcare, in my opinion, why not add energy healing to your life? Why not add energy work to your life? Why not add meditation to your life? Why not add yoga to your life? Why not add acupuncture to your life? And no one's saying it should replace an operation from a doctor or medication from a doctor, but I think our society is becoming more open to what is health and wellness, and it's more than just pills, 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 shots, pills. That's great, shots and pills, but why not add energy healing, energy work? I think health and wellness is. I know people, in my life, and I'm forgive me if they call me King Interruptus because I talk talk talk, but I just want to say, I know people, and you probably do too, that have excellent blood work. There's no problems. They have CAT scans, MRIs. There's no problems with them, but they don't feel well. They feel sick. They don't feel well. And I think our country, our society, the world is becoming more open minded to there's a difference between I'm not sick and am I well though? So yes, they cross paths, they're parallels and they intersect and they layered, health and wellness, but they are separate in many ways. And so let's talk about this and how energy healing and energy work can be a nice addition to traditional medicine. So, Ina, what is the difference between like meditation and energy healing or energy work? Let's start off with that.
So, before I start on your question, I want to give a little bit of what you were talking here about because, yeah, it's not that we cancel regular medicine and go all for energy healing. And it's so much more than energy healing in healing there because whatever happens to, even if it's a car accident that looks completely like an accident, you can always ask your unconscious mind the question, what is it here for me for? Because whatever situation we have in life, we attract that on unconscious level, and it's here to give you a lesson. And when you learn the lesson, you attract better because you upgrade.
By the way, I'm going to stop you there. I'm not going to get into too much of my personal life, but I've had some horrific things happen to me in my life in the past couple of years. I mean, that would make car accidents look like child's play. And I'm not saying poor me or look at me, but you're
Yes.
right. I had a choice. I could have learned from the darkest moment of my life, or I could have been a victim and not learned. And it made me a better human being because I chose it to make me a better human being. It made me more empathetic. It made me more sympathetic. It made me more understanding. It made me more humble. It made me more appreciative. And I unfortunately wouldn't have reached that level of what I just said without that darkness. Now, I didn't want that darkness to happen, of course not, but it happened. Now, what do I do? What do I do? I have a choice. I can live and learn or die. That's my choice. And I don't blame anybody for dying. I don't blame anybody for crawling underneath their bed and drinking their life away. I don't blame anyone. But I chose the other route. And to your point, I learned from that. It made me a better human being, leaps and bounds. So, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's how I started my journey because I was suicidal and it was a very dark place. And I got into the therapy, and thank God I changed the therapist. And now the one who I use, she actually works with energy. So that's one of the how I started, and I will might get to that later. But just how important it is to not being a victim. Yes, just exactly how I said. So, difference between energy work and meditation. It's such a great question. And I remember at some point a couple years ago, I was trying to even make a research about that, like to Google it, and they couldn't find anything because it's all about how we feel and how your body responds to the process. But in general, meditation is the process where you just get quiet. You lay down. It's thing that only you can do for yourself. If I do meditation for you, you're still fully involved because it's you laying down, you closing your eyes, you going within you. It's you and you there. And if you have other person or recording playing, they only help you to go deeper in you. So it's still you and you there. Energy work can be, it feels differently. It can be done like I do it on my own for myself, and I can do it for a person. And then meditation feels like a relaxation and quietness. The frequency of how brain works lowers down. Energy feels like energy. It
Right.
might feel like cold, like you're getting hot, you see colors, you see different lights, memories pop up, you cry. It's energy. So you definitely feel it more in the body. And very often, very often I hear that people, it's like official knowledge that people might not feel it from the first session, but they will feel it from the third or fourth. And in my practice, it never happened. I work in 9 countries. I have clients in Australia, in Kazakhstan, so it's really far away from here, and they still feel it. They still feel it in the body from the first session. So energy is something, and it's also considered to be more healing because it boosts local immunity in the body. It creates the ability for body to heal itself.
Right.
Meditation doesn't really heal as much as energy work. So I think that's my answer.
Okay. Yeah. And 2 things I picked up on, and you probably would concur this or not, but when you say meditation, being quiet, listen, most Americans don't feel comfortable with being quiet, and most Americans don't want to let this go. Can you imagine letting this go and being quiet? I mean, honestly, even myself, that's scary because now I have to deal with me. I have to deal with my own quietness. I mean, we are in a society that doesn't like that, so, but it's necessary. And the other thing I want to say is energy. I know the viewers listening and watching might say, oh, that's cuckoo energy. And I would say, wait a second, think about energy in the sense of, and we all say this, right? Like you go to a party, oh my God, this party is making me feel so energetic, or I feel so down. Well, that's energy, right? It gives you energy. Wow, I'm seeing my friend. Now we know that endorphins and chemicals release, but there is, it's more than that, right? We feel this connection when you hug a loved one, when you hug your dog, your cat. There's energy coming and going, and this goes back to what I was saying before. That health and wellness is more than just a pill, more than just a shot. There's been thousands of studies on this talking about the mind-body connection, that energy. And I think we would be very ignorant as people to say, well, if I don't see it on a piece of paper, then it didn't exist. Are you kidding me? I mean, we know, scientists know about dark energy and, energy that, our brains, electricity. I mean, we're more than just the flesh and the skin. It's a wonderment. And just because you don't see something doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And we know, because you're saying it, we feel it, and there's something there with the human connection, shaking a hand, a hug, telling someone you love them, being quiet. We know that they have concrete results on our blood pressure, our heart health, our mind health. I mean, so life is not binary. It's not just, well, if it's not the skin and the bone, then it doesn't exist. There's more to health and wellness than, again, just a pill. Okay.
I have beautiful feedback on this one for you. 3 things. First, I was together with my ex-husband for 15 years, and he has PhD in astrophysics. So the word energy was never allowed in my home. We were like, he was like, that doesn't exist. And even now, when my kid had a problem, he was like, don't do your energy thing on him. And then when I gave up, and after 8 months of trying absolutely all of the medications, that didn't work at all on his eczema. I did access bar therapy on him, which is type of energy work, and everything was gone. He was completely healed.
Right.
2 access bars, 2 Reiki sessions.
By the way, and my thing is, ladies and gentlemen, if you're already on the medications and nothing's working, why not try energy healing? It doesn't hurt you. No one's stabbing you with a knife. It's non-invasive. Like, why not? Why not try Tai Chi? Why not try acupuncture? Why not try yoga? It can't hurt you. Like, it's another. Again, wellness is more than just the physical. Again, and but that's interesting you mentioned that. So,
there's no side effect. Yes. Second one is that. What I usually say to my clients, and I have people who work in science, lawyers, dentists, people who work in the hospitals. Well, who works in the hospitals, they actually know much better than anyone else, because Reiki energy healing is actually performed in all of the hospitals in USA. It's in Hackensack, it's in Englewood Hospital. They have practitioner. I could be practitioner there, but if I would be a registered nurse, they could just give me their insurance card. I even accept insurance even now. My clients get reimbursed by insurance, so it's covered. It's a medical procedure.
right.
And well, maybe not medical procedure. I'm not sure.
I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
But it's performed in the hospital because they did MRI on a person before the session and after, and you can see the results on the MRI. That brain looks different and the body is healing. So in most cases, they offer it after the surgery to heal. And I was doing my research in hospitals nearby. So either Hackensack or Englewood, they actually offer it for patients before the surgery to prepare to boost your immunity so you heal better after the surgery. Right. And the third thing I wanted to mention is that when I was talking to my ex-husband who said, no, energy doesn't exist, don't talk this nonsense. Well, then I have a very good friend, actually lost him this summer in the war in Ukraine. He did his PhD in biochemistry. And it was in a cafe in Kyiv in 2018. He grabs a napkin. I'm like, can you tell me, you're also a scientist, you're in a biochemistry. Can you talk to me about the energy? He looks at me, he goes, of course I can talk to you about it professionally, because besides energy as a calories in our body, we also have energy as a reaction. Just like you said, someone gives you a hug, you feel good. Someone yells at you, you feel bad. So your body actually produces energies that only can have plus or minus positive effect on you or a negative effect on you. And that's measured in joules. It's not calories. So it's a different, it's an energy that is produced by chemical reaction. And we have it all the time happening. But interesting thing is that in energy work, we say that there's no bad or good energy. Because if someone makes you angry, it triggers you. Anger, it's your emotion. So when you take responsibility for your emotion, again, like just from we're talking that bad situation in life, if you learn and grow from that, you will see how beautiful actually that bad energy was for you.
Right.
And another thing for anger is also gives you tons of energy. You get so puffed up. So you can use this energy for something productive. Like a couple of days ago, I was angry. I booked a client.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Nice world.
It's harnessing energy, correct. It would be like wind. Wind wants to push you down, but you can harness it to make you fly up.
Yes.
It's up to you. And you touched on something that's interesting, and I think I might have done a show on this in the past, but I can't control everything in life. We cannot control everything in life, but we can control how we react to things, and we can control that. And that's so powerful. That can make and break people. I mean, and it does. It makes and break. It does make and break people. How we react, how we think as a pattern. I'm not talking about a thought, but a pattern of thoughts. It's so important. So, how has energy work and healing, like, how has that improved your life? I mean,
first, I'm forever grateful that my therapist now actually, she's highly intuitive and she does energy work for me. Not even really talking about that, but I know that. Plus, I have a couple other practitioners who are, like, few people who I go to for that. I like when they combine energy work with talk, so you get to break your patterns of the thoughts. Exactly what you just mentioned, like perfect timing here. And then I just get any results in life from one session like that. And then I'll offer sessions like that for my clients, because if you combine, like, let's say, cognitive behavioral therapy or hypnotherapy together with energy work, that's it. You get to subconscious, you change your inner patterns of thoughts, you get to physical body, you heal everything that's needed. We hold in our DNA generational traumas up to 7 generations. They create blocks of energy. They are in our DNA, and with energy we can heal that. So when all of that is done, I wake up next day with a solution to absolutely all of my problems if I have them.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
puts me on, like, in my health, in my finances, in my relationships, in everything.
Right. You know, I was gonna say, again, why not try it? You know, people might listen to this and be like, "Oh, Ina, come on now." My thing is, why not try it? No one, again, it doesn't hurt you. It's not invasive. We're not cracking your skull open, you know. And I think, again, right, you're touching on what I've been saying is that health and wellness is far more than just what we see. Now, Ina, I know you're an international woman of sorts. I mean, I only know America. I mean, I've gone vacationing outside the country, but you know, I was born and raised here in New Jersey. I mean, how is energy healing viewed in other countries or other places? I mean, is it because I think America is a little slow to adapt this. We are, like you mentioned, Hackensack Hospital and Englewood. They're including more stuff like yoga and things like that aside from traditional medicine. But I think America's a little slow to adapt. Like China, for instance, my understanding is they're definitely much more ahead, if you will, or more open-minded about not just traditional medicine, but doing other ancillary forms of wellness. So how do you see it maybe in your country of origin or other countries? Like, how do people see energy healing? Are they disagreeing with it? Are they more open-minded, less open-minded than Americans?
It's a very interesting question, because we have, I think, two approaches here. One is that people don't know Reiki. Like, I'm the only one in my friends who know that, and they talk to them about it, educate them. They don't go for acupuncture. And when my father passed away, my mom got very sick. And I was like, Mom, you need therapy and acupuncture. When you combine that, you'll be okay. She was like, I'll try first, regular doctors. She tried absolutely every single clinic in town, every single professional. 2 months later, she comes back. She's like, what did you mention? What was it called?
Yeah.
She tried that. In a month, she was okay. She stopped, like, getting sick and being sick and feeling. So people sometimes more close, but we also have different types of, like, a clairvoyant who actually heal you with energy. It's just not very, like, a common knowledge, and sometimes can be viewed as like a scam.
Right.
But the level how those people work is absolutely amazing. Like,
Right.
they look at you and they can tell from the look at you what part of your body is hurting, what kind of a problem. And they can go really deep. They can be like, oh, I see the scar in your lungs. And you would be like, oh, I had the surgery. It actually happened with my mom. She had a friend like that.
Right.
And that's how they met. The woman said, I don't know how it started exactly, but then she said, oh, I see something like that that happened 20 years ago. And mom was like, yes, it did happen. And like, how would you know? But
Right.
that's how energy works as well. And there are people like that. And I've never met American people who do that, or who heard about concept of clairvoyance working this way.
Right. Yeah, I don't know too many. Yeah, I've never heard of it. I do know some people who are clairvoyant and stuff like that, but not in the way of, like you're saying, the medicine. And by the way, again, my thing is, it can only be a scam, or if, number one, you're not getting anything out of it. If a person is getting something out of it and they feel like it's adding value to their life and they feel better, that's not a scam.
It's even arguable here, because I have personally clients who come and they do energy work for them. I had a client, we did a big session. It was a lot of energy work there, a lot of talk and coaching. I don't think she saw the value in that.
Well,
But
then, fair enough, right? Fair enough. Then it's not for her. But
it is for everyone. What I'm saying is that she actually got sick next day. And it's in energy work, it's a good sign, because energy clears your body. So you should feel either on the session or right after or next day, you can get either from your skin or like sinus clearing, or headaches, saying something, the process is going, and the stress that you have in life, that's how you get headaches, from the stress.
Right.
So it's surfacing things. And she was going back and forth of like, I don't think the session helped, and they feel sick. And I'm like, that's how session works. You're
Right.
supposed to, because we're surfacing things
Yeah,
here.
you're
So
throwing up, so to speak.
even some people, when they might think it was like something, either nothing or bad for them,
Right.
but it's actually still. And I'm so grateful that I have many clients who know that stuff gets much worse next day or next week, but this is how it works, so then it will be better. And they're like, yes, it started to work, now it's a nightmare. And I'm like, I'm sorry.
Well, Ina, you even see that physiologically. If I go to the gym and I've never been to the gym and I lift weights, the next day I'll be in great pain. Does
Right.
that mean the weightlifting didn't work? No, it did work. You're going to have soreness, but that's a good sign. And again, no one's saying to not go to your traditional doctor or anything like that, but why not add it and try it out? Be open minded. If you've tried everything else, and be open minded, give it a try. If you don't like it, don't do it. You like it, keep doing it. I mean, that's it. I mean, it's pretty simple. And again, I would also liken. I know this is not energy healing, but again, you can make the argument this is another type of how to be well outside of traditional medicine, and that is people pray, right? Jews, Muslims, Christians, Catholics, Hindus. I mean, we know, and there's been studies about whoever your God is, whatever you believe in, that prayer is linked to oftentimes better results, better outcomes. Now, tell me, that's not traditional medicine. People try that. So can't hurt to try. And if you don't think prayers work for you, then don't do it. But be open-minded. Try prayer. Try energy healing. Try again. Yoga, deep breathing, meditation. By the way, you also mentioned, and I preach this all the time, getting a therapist, getting cognitive therapy, talk therapy, especially men. Men are so machismo. Oh, I'm fine. The suicide rates. You mentioned suicide. I've lost loved ones to suicide. I openly talk about I see therapy, through BetterHelp.com. I cannot mention enough how important therapy is. Even therapists need therapists, and it's not good enough just to talk to your boyfriend and girlfriend, your husband and wife. That's great. You should do that, but you need someone, a neutral, trained ear that has no vested interest, doesn't side with your brother or mother or father. It's so important, and there's no excuse not to. I don't want to hear people don't have money. People have money for sneakers and shoes and alcohol and vacations. Why not spend a couple of dimes on therapy? And it's so accessible. It's anonymous. It's so important. I'm glad you brought up that you go. Now, I think more women are more open-minded to therapy than us guys. I don't know. Do you see that?
I see that, but also women are more emotional. I've heard that actually parts of the brain that produce emotions in women's brain is 3 times physically bigger in size than in the male brain. So we are more emotional. And then clients who come to me for life coaching, like therapy or life coaching, relationship coaching, it's all kind of, similar fields. And they come when they are just feeling very, very miserable. So women, they just get to feel it a little bit more in their body, then they go instead of drinking to the therapy. And for men, it can be a glass of wine and they're okay. And if it's very hard to judge people about that, because therapy or any type of coaching, any type of energy work, it's actually something I wanted to mention, that it doesn't have to be healing for physical body for a disease. It's also healing for, like I mentioned, for myself. I did it for my finances. I did it for my relationships, energy work, and any type of coaching or therapy. So when they come and they don't feel well, they try sometimes to fix it with logical brain. Like, I'll just think about it. And then you just get anxiety. And then when your body, starts to feel completely drained, you have no energy, you're just tired, then all of that can help as well.
Yeah. So let me ask you, if somebody wants it's called Reiki, right? Like Reiki, like how does that work? Do they lay down on a couch or a table or the floor? They stand up? What do they kneel? Like, how does that look if someone comes to you or somebody in that profession? Like what happens? Like, they call you, they book an appointment. Now what? Can they do it over FaceTime, or do they lay down?
I have many, many, many different options for Reiki sessions. I even do them on the piece of paper.
Okay.
Like, you don't have to be here. And they do energy work for children, and for badly autistic children, not verbal, running around and stuff. So they cannot be present in the session whatsoever. I combine Reiki healing with other types of like intuitive medical healing there and stuff like that. So Reiki can be done you can come in, have an appointment in person, lay down on massage table, then I touch your head, your face, your shoulders, stomach, legs, like with my hands. In general, Reiki is different from other types of energy healing because first, we draw symbols, we invite energy to the body through the symbol. You draw the symbol and energy comes from that and goes. Second is that your body draws in the energy with the help of the practitioner. So first I get energy to my body,
Right.
and then I spread it, but it's not my energy. It doesn't touch my energy. It doesn't, like, we don't have energy exchange there.
You're a conduit.
Yes, I'm only conduing it through my body to you. So it can be done online. That's why I work in 9 countries, because people can feel it. They say I have tingling sensations. I have, like, my hands are cold, or it's hot in my heart area. It's different for every person.
Right.
So online, I do it when I have an object that becomes you for this specific session. Then I work still with hands. Reiki is done with hands, and still do with hands. And I'm super intuitive. I come from a family with over 200 years of history of healers. My great-grandmother was doing Reiki, didn't even exist at that time. And her great-grandmother did energy work for people also with hands, but it was not called Reiki. Reiki was established in 1920 in Japan. That was like 200-300 years ago, of like these great-grandmothers. So with the hands, I touch the object, and then because of I'm super intuitive, I sense a lot, and I feel in my body. I cry there, I have headaches, stomach aches, whatever aches. But then in the end of the session, it's so much light and then like good energy there that everyone feels amazing after. So what happens is that I sense a lot from a person's body. So one of types of session includes a consultation where I talk about it later, like, okay, in your head, I sensed tons of anxiety. One time I had a session on the phone. I do it on the phone because I don't need to see you. I'm with my eyes closed. You're laying down on the bed. Like,
right.
no one speaks there.
Sofa, whatever.
Silent session. So I said, listen, she was very far away. And I was like, it's very interesting sensation. And I'm always saying up front, I have no idea what it means for me or for person. Sounds like nonsense, but it's channeling. I'm just giving you information. Do whatever you want with it. Like, I had a very strange sensation that there is a baby in your like stomach, but I can tell you're not pregnant. Like, I don't sense that you're pregnant, but there is a, like, I such nonsense. What is that? And she goes, I gave birth a few months ago.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh, that makes like perfect sense now.
Yeah. No, that's interesting. Now, let me ask you, if people want to contact you, do you have a website or a Facebook page or something where people could, research more about you?
Question. Absolutely. So it's website stands for Change Your Life Coaching. So it's CYL, like Change Your Life, cylcoaching.com.
Yeah.
Then Instagram is your _confidence _coach. YouTube is Inna Faye, like here.
Okay. Yeah, I can put those links below, so people can check them out.
Facebook,
and stuff like that. Yeah.
LinkedIn, yeah.
Yeah, I can put those links below in the show later on.
Tons of free products, like I have on Telegram chats and groups where people ask me questions, and I explain to them how this works or that works, or how to deal with the situation specifically. I have Telegram group chat for that, or on Instagram you can reach out anywhere.
You're a busy woman. Okay. So before we close, is there anything else that you would like to add to tell the viewers, before we say au revoir, ciao, ciao?
Well, definitely. The best thing I can say is that just try your best to feel happy during the day and allow yourself to go with the energy. Wherever something comes up, an idea, person, situation, place, whatever, where you know you will feel better, go for it. And you can always check if it's good for you or if it's bad for you by a very simple exercise. You can close your eyes and ask yourself a question about this specific thing. Like, if I go there, or like, should I go there? And then if you're with eyes closed and you get in touch with your physical body, your body will either shrink or it will expand into relaxation.
Right.
So you go where relaxation is. Stop shrinking, be big, and be happy.
Awesome. Yeah. And don't forget, people, I always say, you're not alone. You're not alone in happiness, and you're not alone in darkness. So if you're going through something really hard right now, and we all have, and God knows I have, you're not alone. There's help for you. There's a lot of free help for you. So You deserve the best, everyone watching, and you're not alone. So anyways, thank you everyone for checking back into Wellness Week Live. We have a lot of great shows coming up, and thank you for this great show. Ina, you were awesome as always. And I'm going to sign us off. Thank you so much, everybody. Like, subscribe. On the count of 3, I'm going to end this. 1,
Thank
2,
you.
3. Bye.